So the design I have for my new screen door is the hinge is going to be on the right side, the same as the hinge of the door. And I've drilled a little hole here because I need solid backing to hang my door on the hinges on that side. But I saw there's a big void here. That surprised me. I thought this would have been built as a post, but I need some backing in there, so I'm going to have to take this piece of trim off and pack that in. Okay, now I've got my solid backing in from the top to the bottom on the hinge leg, so I can attach that hinge leg of that storm door and be really solid there. And I also have solid backing where the deadbolt's going to go here, so we can put our strike there and have that be really solid. And you can see that they had to cut a notch here to clear this big loop handle, which is pretty prominent. So I've added 3/8 trim onto the existing trim around the door opening, and I need to do this because my door is going to close against this trim, and I wanted to clear this big loop handle here, and I only had about 1/8 of an inch clearance with the old trim, so I built out 3/8 of an inch, which together makes a 1/2 inch, and my bug screen's about 3/8 of an inch behind the screen door. It's 2 layers. So with this 1/2 inch clearance, I should be clearing my 3/8 bug screen. And I left all my existing trim and decided to not tear everything out just because it's simpler to just add this slim piece on and add it to the header as well and have my new storm door close against that. And this will just get all painted out and it'll just blend in with everything, but it'll just give me that extra depth I need to work. Is that already sandwiched in?
Yep. Like that.
Okay. Nice. I just want to point out what a beautiful job they did with the powder coating. It's just a really nice finish, even all around, great coverage, and this is not to be taken for granted. A beautiful powder coat job like this is very much appreciated. This is Seattle Powder Coat that did this. This is the solution we came up with for the strike box, and it's pretty ingenious. Blackbird Iron Design figured this out. We had to figure out how to attach the box to the house really securely, but not have the screws be accessible from outside. So we have really long screws going into this plate here, and then just a piece of angle that comes out, and it's going to hold this box with just a short little screw like that, and it's really strong. And then when the door is shut, you can't get at those screws in any way. We've set the door just with about 4 temporary screws, just to make sure we're plumb and we're sitting where we need to be and it's closing right. And so everything's working now, it's in the right place. And so I'm going to put in my finished screws, and I've got these 5-inch number 14 stainless steel screws that will go all down this leg on the hinge side. I'm using a 5-inch screw because I'm actually going through about 1.5 inches of trim material here. I got 1.25 inch trim board and then a 1/4 inch leg of steel, and I want to get back into that framing. So this will put me, still another 2.5 inches into the framing, or 3.5 inches actually. And then I have my nice offset pattern here, just so that each fastener will be grabbing kind of a fresh piece of wood back in there. Just about out of power. So now I have my bug screen attached to the door, and it's just attached with about 10 or 8 little brackets that were pre-drilled and pre-tapped in the steel before the powder coating. And we put this middle bar in just to make it a little more stable because it's a big screen, and this gets hidden behind the mid-rail of the steel door so you won't see it from the outside. And this will be nice, it'll keep all the bugs out, and then it'll get painted the same color as this door, and it'll just disappear. Here. I want to put some bubble gasket on between the door and the trim, and I've got this 1/4 inch compressible gasket strip that just sticks on. And the reason is because I want that last gap to be sealed off from insects, and also I just want a little cushion so when it shuts it has more of a soft close like a typical front door. And when we made this, we allowed for 1/8 of an inch of play, knowing that I would use this 1/4 inch gasket and it would just compress down whatever irregular surface it was on and fill that gap and be more comfortable. I've got my piece started, and I'm just take the backing off, and I'm holding it about 1/8 of an inch away from this edge, and to give a little room to compress down, and just kind of carefully line it up. I've got my gasket on nice and snug, and now I'm going to shut it, and it's got all those voids are filled, and it has a nice soft feel to it, so that looks really good. Right now I got my bottom sweep in here, and that's going to really make a nice seal on the bottom, and it just sleeves into that little channel there. And this is the back door. It's the same design, just a little smaller. And again, I think this pattern of mesh looks really good on this house. It worked out well. Well, we're all done, and that was another fun project. And this is a really popular street to watch fireworks. We're overlooking a nice lake here, and it gets really crowded in the summertime. And so pretty much any hour of the day or night, they can have these doors open and not worry about anybody coming in their house. And I think this pattern, this design looks really nice. The color looks really nice. The customer's really happy with how it all came together and just how nice and secure it feels, but it's smooth, it's easy to open and shut. So thanks again, it was really fun.